Earlier this year, our relationship faced uncertainties, and many questioned the direction we were heading. Now, in an earlier era, we might have experienced a lasting setback. But this dialogue mechanism and the habits of cooperation it has helped create, along with the confidence it has built, helped put us rapidly back on a positive track. This strategic and economic dialogue has proven its value, and it reflects the maturity, durability, and strength of our relationship. So over the last days, we discussed a wide range of the most complex bilateral, regional, and global challenges. Now, as we have said many times, we do not agree on every issue. We don't agree even sometimes on the perception of the issue. But that is partly what this dialogue is about. It is a place where we can discuss everything, as State Councilor Dai said, from Taiwan to universal human rights. And in the course of doing so, we are developing that positive, cooperative, and comprehensive understanding that leads to the relationship for the 21st century that both President Obama and President Hu Jintao put into motion when they agreed to do this dialogue. The success of the U.S.-China relationship will ultimately be measured by the results we deliver to our people. Do our dialogues and our collaborations produce changes that people see in their daily lives and that contribute to global progress or not? That is both our challenge and our responsibility. So this round of the dialogue did not solve all of our shared problems, but it did produce a number of concrete results, some of which you saw as Chinese and American officials came forward to sign memoranda of understanding. One in particular is in our efforts to meet the challenges of climate change and clean energy. We signed an agreement that for the first time will allow American experts to work closely with Chinese colleagues to begin exploring China's vast natural gas potential. We believe that could well lead to new economic opportunities in both countries and a lower carbon emission load for our planet.
Last July, when we met in Washington, China and the United States first made the case for a broad rebalancing of global economic growth. The G20 embraced that cause and recognized it as a global imperative. And since that time, China and the United States have acted on that commitment. Americans are saving and investing more and borrowing less from the rest of the world, and China is consuming and importing more. We work together, China and the United States, to mobilize a substantial increase in financial resources for emerging markets and developing economies through the IMF and the multilateral development banks, and to restore trade finance flows. And these commitments, these actions, were essential to arresting the free fall in global economic activity and averting much greater damage to the livelihoods of hundreds of millions of people around the world. We welcome the strong commitment of President Hu to the process of economic reform to expand domestic demand and increase household consumption, to expand market access in keeping with established international economic and trading rules, and to advance trade and investment liberalization. We welcome the fact that China's leaders have recognized that reform of the exchange rate mechanism is an important part of their broader economic reform agenda. Allowing the exchange rate to reflect market forces is important not just to give China the flexibility necessary to sustain more balanced economic growth with low inflation, but also to reinforce incentives for China's private sector to shift resources to more productive, higher value-added activities that will be important to future economic growth in China. Now, this is, of course, China's choice. And we welcome the progress we achieved to provide a more level playing field for American firms exporting to China and operating in China. China has taken a series of steps to adjust and modify its programs designed to promote indigenous innovation and technological advancement. China has revised certain aspects of its product accreditation system, such as the requirement that products be patented or trademarked in China to be eligible for certain preferences. China has affirmed its commitment to abide by the principles of non-discrimination, market competition, open trade, intellectual property rights protection, and leaving the terms of technology transfer and production processes to agreements between enterprises. And we have agreed to a process of dialogue over the coming weeks and months, led by my colleagues, Ambassador Kirk, Secretary Locke, and Office of Science and Technology Director John Holdren, to find ways to address our remaining concerns.